This summer, 20 of Australia's best iron women will line up for the 6-round series. Let's meet some of those elite competitors now. Returning to the Iron Woman series for this summer is 3 times Coolangatta Gold champion Hayley Baitup.
I've been competing in the professional series since '96, so in that time I've only had 1 year out due to injury. I have had injuries that I could manage along the way, but yeah, the shoulder surgery definitely was my worst injury, and it's been giving me grief again. So it's just not functioning as a normal shoulder yet, and I just can't wait until it is completely better. I haven't ever won a series, and the last time I competed before my shoulder injury, the final race I went into it, and I was leading, and but I was only leading by 1 point, and you know, in that year there was about 4 of us that were really racing fast. So, you know, yeah, I went into it as probably favourite, but you know, it didn't happen on that day. Hopefully I'll get back to where I was, but it might not happen as quickly as I'd like.
One of the emerging stars to watch for this summer is Noosa Trials winner Kellyanne Perkins.
I started surf lifesaving when I was in under 11s. I moved down here from Mount Isa, and my parents got me into the sport to learn about surf safety, and living close to the beach is a great thing to get involved in. My dream for this summer is to just go out there, have fun racing, get as many good results as I can, and just enjoy the experience.
The name Hancock has become well known to fans of the Iron Woman series, but current champion Courtney Hancock's younger sister Bonnie knows there's no love lost when it comes to competition.
Well, I guess we always get asked if there's, you know, a sibling rivalry, and we always sort of laugh because that's so far from the truth. Like, I know if people could see, like, well, I just moved out of home, but we have always lived together and just supported each other in every way. And yeah, like when Courtney won the Iron Woman series last year, like, I could not have been more excited.
But for Bonnie, last summer didn't see the heights she'd hoped for.
I would really like to improve this year, and I mean, I train with Courtney, Crystal and Elizabeth Plumers, and also Harriet Brown, and we've got a great training squad at Northcliffe, and yeah, I love training with those girls, and I always try and sort of keep up with them in training, and yeah, I'd just love to be up there, sort of able to match it with them, I guess, and yeah, just sort of take that next step up and really be able to go with those big girls.
Returning to the fold this season is one of the glamour girls of the series, Elise Bennett.
My best result in the Kellogg series was in 2009, and I won at Coolum in round 3. And last year I ran second in one of the races at Portsea and finished 7th overall. And like everyone at Portsea, at one point thought I was going to win the whole thing, but no.
Finishing outside the top 10 last summer, Elise had to go through the qualifying process at the Noosa Trials in August.
The younger girls, I think, are definitely picking up their game. You can sense a bit of a changing of the guard, and so you never know what to expect. I've been in the series the last 6 years, but you just still can never go into a trial with full 100% confidence, you know, that you're going to get a spot. So it was definitely a thrill to get into the final, and even better to finish on the podium.
One of the most promising talents from Queensland's Sunshine Coast is Danielle Allen.
I am really excited coming into this new season. I feel like I'm in a much better place than I was last year. I feel like I'm fitter, I feel like I'm more competitive. So this season, like everyone, I suppose, I'm hoping for a top 10 finish to be able to qualify for next year. But I think I'm going to aim high, because that's always good. I think I'm going to aim for a top 3 finish in one of the rounds. So to be able to actually be able to compete on the big stage, to be able to show everyone what I can do, it means a lot to me to be in this series.
Rebecca Creedy is a relative latecomer to surf lifesaving, but she brings a very disciplined swimming pedigree with her.
I didn't grow up in nippers, and I didn't grow up in the age groups, and I grew up in the pool and chasing the dream of Olympic gold, and I went to a Commonwealth Games and a Pan Pacs and a World Championships, and then called it a day, and one day I decided to get fit again, and this is where I ended up, and it's amazing. If you had told me 5 years ago I was going to be an Ironwoman, I wouldn't have believed you.
At the Australian Ironwoman titles earlier this year, Rebecca experienced one of the biggest disappointments of her career.
Perfect conditions at Currawa the day of the final, and I was leading by about 20 or 30 metres, and just got into the break zone and didn't get the wave when I needed to, and the next thing I know I was in the break zone and trying to catch a broken wave, and went to move back on my board and slipped, and yeah, fell off the wave, and Liz and Courtney both went past, and yeah, ended up third.
And Courtney Hancock, come on, Vicky's off! Greedy is in trouble! Greedy is upside down and Courtney Hancock has blown past her.
To know that I can be in that position, I think, is only a positive for the future, and I think I'm definitely going to be someone that they'll be looking for this year. I didn't get to where I am for no reason, and when I want something, I do everything I can to get it.
Someone not to take lightly is the very dangerous Crystal Smith, who has become a consistent contender.
I do consider myself to be a threat this year. Going into the first race last year, I was really nervous and wasn't really too confident, but I've changed a few things around, changed my training schedule and done a lot more running and a lot more swimming, and I have to say I'm probably more confident than ever going into this first race, so I'm looking forward to it. This will actually be my 13th year that I'll be competing in the series, so it's been an amazing time. I've learnt so much, travelled to some amazing places, seen majority of Australia, and you know, I've seen competitors come and go, and I'd like to see myself go around for another maybe 2 years or so. You know, until I stop enjoying it, and at the moment I love it, and I haven't loved it anymore, so yeah, until I stop loving the sport, then that's when I'll go.
Last summer, Elizabeth Plumas was a high achiever without taking the ultimate prize.
Last year was actually pretty good for me. I mean, I did have a few mishaps here and there, and I like to do consistent and mistake-free racing, so that's another goal again this year, but pretty similar training, a lot more focusing on the soft sand running though.
Leading into this summer, she was well placed to win the Coolangatta Gold, but again, success slipped from her grasp.
The Coolangatta Gold this year was a different race. It was very, very tough, especially coming back into that headwind. It's just, I gave it everything I had. Courtney and I had been pushing each other pretty much the whole way, and come that last sort of 100 metres, I tried to play a few tactics at the end with taking my shoes off, and I feel like it would have worked if I had had energy left to get up there, but that soft sand just killed me at the end, and I had given it my all throughout that whole race.
In the last 18 months, Courtney Hancock has been Elizabeth's nemesis, but there are others to watch out for.
I don't think you could really narrow it down to one person. I mean, Courtney is going amazingly. She's training so well, and because she's a training partner, you get to gauge yourself against her. But there's so many other girls out there that you can see that are the up and coming as well. So you've got the likes of Danielle Allen and Tara Coleman, but you've got the likes of Crystal Smith, who's been around forever, and you can never rule people like that out. I really want to finish back on the top of that podium, and this year I think it's going to be consistent racing that's going to get you there.
Courtney Hancock is the first woman to take out the Triple Crown in 1 year, capturing last year's Ironwoman Series, the Australian Ironwoman title, and then in September, the Coolangatta Gold.
I did everything I possibly could to win that race. I did all the right training, all the right things, and yeah, to come across that line at the finish, it was just an absolutely fantastic feeling.
Taking out the Ironwoman Series last summer without winning a race has produced criticism of the woman who proved herself to be the most consistent.
I've always been a person to never follow the path. I've always gone my own way, and that's whether it's big surf. You know, all the girls might run one way, and if I believe in myself, say if all the girls go left and I feel like right, I will go right. So that's what kind of person I am. I will do what I think will get me the fittest, whether it's for the Ironwoman Series, the Coolangatta Gold, the Australian titles. I will always do what I feel is right. Yes, I didn't win a round of the series, and I haven't before, and I've got a lot of seconds, but I won the Australian titles, so I don't think that makes me someone who just follows the field. I think, yeah, no, definitely I'll always go the way that I feel, and I'll always do what works for me. And whether that's totally different to other people, well then that's fine, I'll do it. I'm hoping this season not to make mistakes through my racing because I am very experienced now, so I think that's what I did last year with the series. I did make a few mistakes and I've learned from that, and that's what I did with the gold. I didn't make one mistake, so I guess that came through for me in the end.
Coming up, former Ironman champion Guy Leach takes a look at who's in, who's out, and where it's all happening for the women in the summer ahead.